I mean, it's probably censored in every way by the Empire, but
Well, this is Tatooine. I don't believe
the
they
Empire
have
still
much.
has a pretty strong grasp, at least in the major cities.
Not much on Tatooine.
Yeah, and Mos Eisley, they are very active there.
Well, this is only a couple of years after the Empire's formed, so their control's still expanding.
Okay. Timeline. All right, thank you. So this is like what? This is like 20, late 20 EBY.
Yeah, they're still
Something
using
like that.
venators and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're still. Oh, that's right. I remember you guys were still talking like they're still using Venators and Victories are just starting to roll out.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Yeah, so Vex gets on the planetary-wide communications network, looks around, and he's not finding anything about this thing. The only info you can get from this is looking around this area. You get the impression that with how vicious this thing is and the effect it's had on that one alien, if there were going to be multiple of these, there would probably be a large disturbance on the planet kind of thing. And the fact that you've seen Tuscans and Jawas, evidence of them having gone through here, it probably means that this is an isolated incident.
All right, then I guess we're staying here for the time being.
Am I still unconscious at this point?
I'd say yeah. Until you've resolved your business in this area, then
all right,
you're going to be unconscious.
I'll keep my mouth and opinion shut then.
Right. Okay, so we can move him, right, Bex?
Yeah. You biologicals stay away from him, but I can transport him back to the ship. And we basically want to keep him quarantined.
Put him in the number 3 cargo hold then. I believe there's basically nothing in there, and it's essentially another prison cell. So we can keep him isolated in there for the time being, and then work out a way from there.
Sure. Number 3 cargo hold. Perfect. So for the moment, Vex is going to be in there with Nostrum. And that's basically now a medical quarantine zone, so absolutely no organics going in and out of there.
Okay.
Yay.
Cool. And you guys are welcome to resolve your business in this area. And you guys can keep hold of this token that shows you what's attached to Nostrum.
Okay, so given that the alien that we've got is about to we should probably prepare to bury it or cremate him. It's not that I want to rush it, but we don't have facilities on the ship in order to store a dead, rotting body.
Yeah.
Unless you want to just venom in space, it's always an option.
Well, I mean, sure, but that's pretty barbaric.
From your seeming trajectory, it might be a little while before you get to space.
Also, I kind of want to burn the pelt as well. So I'm going. What are these buildings made out of?
It's like your standard. What's standard on Tatooine? Porcrete, that
Like
kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So not an awful lot of wood. So
No.
burn them.
No.
What about the insides? Do they have floorboards?
The buildings are pretty much all like this porcrete kind of thing, but you can with minimal effort you can look around and find some flammable stuff if you want.
Yeah, and then I want to essentially make 2 piles work.
Do you want to draw on the table where you're doing
It's
stuff?
probably here and Yeah.
Sure. And so one of them's going to be the alien, and one of them is going to be the
Nostrum.
Maybe, yeah. maybe just to draw tentative $3.
was it a Tal? We said was
Tals.
Tals, yeah. So one of them is the Tal's pelt, and one is the alien. Okay. So you can go ahead and burn them and put them to rest. Are you going to be burying the alien and the pelt remains as well? Or
He
not?
is an insect.
Uh-huh.
In his time that he's alive, at least for the rest of it, I imagine Nori would try and get, like, if he's got any last wishes, or maybe any funeral rites, if he's able to.
He's not in a way to be able to communicate, unfortunately.
And given the fact that we just don't know,
Yeah,
Nori is going to do the cremation method.
sure. So just cremate and scatter.
Yeah.
Cool. So that goes ahead. You are welcome to perform whatever funeral rites you do alongside this, and after you've sorted that out, what's the plan?
If this is a place that is relatively isolated and more pretty well defendable, maybe, I would suggest to Fra that this would be the place where we could hand off tracks.
And that's just me thinking, like, just out of character thinking about it. And that would be a pretty good idea. It's remote, out of the way. Yeah.
Sinkhole at the entrance.
Sinkhole at the entrance.
So you haven't been able to figure out the cause of it, but despite the fact that there are buildings here and residences, nothing's moved in, or things haven't moved out again. So it looks deserted, and it looks like that's not going to change.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd say this would be the perfect place to hand them off.
Yeah, so...
Question, this is about the story. When you say hand them off, you mean...
Give them to the people that want the bounty.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah, so, if you want to go back and get on the comms to the client...
Right, Thar nods and just works his way back to the ship here. And just walks in, and where would communications be on this ship? Like just in the cockpit?
Yeah, so you've got the
seats.
cockpit there, and you've got the main computer console here in the centre of the ship.
Because they don't have the gunnery terminals in the cockpit, because that's in the center. So it's pilot, co-pilot, and probably comms, and then passenger.
Yeah. You guys are able to control the turrets from the cockpit, but it's not their primary control.
Alright. So I'm just gonna go back to the ship, get into the cockpit, and just start calling up the contact.
Cool. So let's do a bit of exposition into the contact here. What do you think the deal with the bounty is, and who the contact might be?
For a slaver,
This guy's definitely a Wookiee.
Why do you think? Firstly, why do we think the bounty has been called on Trex? Is it just that he's a slaver?
he's probably in some trouble. And considering he's on Tatooine, that's probably with the Hutt.
He probably hunted the wrong thing that he shouldn't have hunted. Like he killed someone's important pet that was out on a walk on its own. Or something.
I like that. Yeah. And
Quite possibly.
Like the Hutt had a Hutt lord or something had a really expensive like bird or something, and he lets it loose every now and then to fly around, and he hunted it because it had pretty feathers or something.
Yeah. That's cool. We've got an established established thing of Trex's. He's killed sentients for their pelt, so he's pretty ruthless and unscrupulous when it comes to killing things. So that sounds good. So some kind of hut lord this isn't going to be Timo the Hut. It's going to be a different hut because Timo is already wrapped up with you guys, and he's not going to be someone you're going to be able to hand off a bounty to.
Yeah, after what happened at Mashuda, I don't think he wants to talk to us anymore.
I don't know what happened at Mashuda, but I can only assume it's bad.
Basically, we had to shoot our way out. First,
Oh,
through,
lovely.
first through Trex's droids, then through the Empire. We made quite the mess.
Mm.
Is that, were you guys doing the base module?
Yeah.
Or is that just... Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is the Edge of the Empire beginner box. Vex is the medical droid who worked for Timo, and everyone else has custom characters that were some way involved in Mos Shutta or
So wait, is this...
Timo.
Just so I don't, like, spoil anything, is this still, like, part of the adventure module?
Oh no, we're long done
you're
with
past
the.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, just checking. Alright, continue on.
All right, so I'm up here calling
Mhm.
up my contact.
Yeah. So you're probably getting in touch with like some kind of bounty hunter dispatcher for one of the huts, and they're the kind of people who dole out specific bounties. And I'm gonna say this is probably not the kind of thing that goes up on a main bounty board. This is something you need contacts in the industry to be able to get access to these kind of jobs. It's some kind of like private dispatcher for bounty hunters that important bounties go to, and so you get in contact with this employee.
Quite possibly a droid.
Yeah, very possibly. And what are you? What? Go ahead with the conversation.
Do you want me to voice the other guy?
Absolutely, go for it.
Alright.
Sure.
Hello, office of, what's the hut's name? Just throw out a name.
Gledo.
Gledo. But, Gledo, how can I help?
Uh,
Come on, honey, I have all day.
how do I boost the reception on this thing?
You fiddle with
That's
the
my
controls.
intro.
a
Honey,
bit.
I'm not tech support. You're gonna have to find someone. You're gonna have to call someone else for this.
That was my in-character way of saying you kind of went robotic there.
Oh, sorry.
It's
Sorry, I
alright.
saw my ping spike, but alright.
It plays
Yeah.
into the role of droid perfectly.
Alright, what can I do for you?
This is Thrash Inuush.
Oh, Thrush! Hey, how you doing? Alright. You still...
Trex in custody.
Oh, wonderful.
Here are my coordinates to hand him off.
Alright, let me just... Give me a second, let me write that down here. Oh,
Interjecting.
damn it,
Because this has
broken
been
nail.
brought up.
Yeah.
We did mention that we wanted to get the guys that are bringing out the bounty money to collect tracks. If we could try and negotiate with them to bring the hypermatter reactor component.
Right.
Sure. Launch.
I mentioned that.
So what was the payment for this bounty?
What do we reckon a reasonable bounty for a slaver like this would be?
Usually bounties are like a few, like 5 to 10,000 for minor infractions.
One
For
sec.
more important stuff, it's like usually like 10 to 30,
There's actually
depending on severity.
there's actually a thing for this.
Oh,
Is
cool.
there?
Yeah, one sec.
Now, considering that that Trex has pelts of sentient beings, that would be pretty severe.
Yeah, this is not a minor infraction, I don't think. The other thing to be aware of to having this conversation is it is not standard practice by any means for people to come out and have the bounty handed off. You are generally expected to be subservient and to bring the bounty to cash in for collection, probably to some kind of office for this.
That would probably be
Cutting into profits.
Yeah.
Well,
So I
mean,
should probably mention that we are currently unable to get off world.
what,
Where are you supposed to deliver this guy?
I think that this is some kind of this is probably a central office that a few different Hut what's the Hut family name? Like the
You said
group.
Gimo, right?
Yeah,
Gimo
but
or
what's
Gimo?
like a group of huts that work together called? There's a name for it. That's
There's
Cartel.
there are the various
Clan?
Yeah.
clans.
yeah. I think there's another word for it as well. But
Clan or a family, isn't it?
hello.
I guess it's either clan or cartel.
it's a cartel.
Cartel, yeah, the Hut cartel.
Yeah. So a couple of different Hut cartels that are allied use this central office for specialized bounties, and it's an off-world. It's like a small space station that is.
Probably, I'd say it's probably a small space station off near Nalhutta.
Oh, I was gonna say this is like a Tatooine branch of it.
Oh,
But yeah, it can be off a little further off world, maybe on the fringe of Hut space if that's more suitable.
yeah, I'd say because if various Hut clans use it, it'd probably need to be, or at least whatever main
Somewhat
station.
centrally located.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would need to be some.
Let's pull up the galaxy map.
Whoa. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, galaxy map. Let's see. Well,
Okay, so
Oh.
we're up over
Oh,
in
this
this
is
area here.
galaxy.
Okay, so
Where's-
the price for certain target, if it's a mid-level functionary in a crime syndicate, corporation, or of a powerful organization, it's 2,000 to 10,000.
Yeah.
A typical galactic citizen is 300 to 750 credit. Crime lords and such like, they're 15,000 to 20,000. Moths and force users and anything higher than is 25,000 to 100,000 credit.
Okay,
That being
so
said, there are bonuses.
30 to 40,000 credits for this guy. Maybe. I didn't really hear what he said.
I would imagine that this is probably a bit of a cheaper target, so maybe around the 10,000 credit mark. But the Huts are pissed about this, and so they're offering a bit of a higher price because it's an important thing that one of these Huts is. Did we say Gleedo?
whatever
Pissed
Gimo.
about. Gimo.
Gimo, whatever this guy did to make Gimo mad, he's willing to offer. I'd say like maybe 25,000.
Probably 15 to 20.
Yeah, if you look at that table that I linked in general, there are
You linked
this-
it. Nice.
Let's see.
like committed a personal wrong against the bounty poster, perks it up by 5 to 20% depending on the anger.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd say maybe. Now this is just kind of me being greedy, but I'd say 20%, just because he made Gimo mad.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this is probably, let's say, a 15,000 credit bounty. I
Makes
think
sense.
that's reasonable. And for
How much,
15,000,
Go for
and
Why is the galaxy map open?
I'm looking at
'Cause he was
Hut Space versus
looking where the-
Tatooine and where we might see this central collections.
I'd say probably out here by Rishi. 'Cause
Yeah, I was looking at that kind
Yeah,
of
the
area.
Rishi. Makes sense.
I wouldn't say Rishi, given the proximity to
To
right
what?
now.
To what, sorry? You cut out.
Camino.
Camino. Okay.
Camino is right above Rishi, which means that the Empire is essentially
yeah.
blockading that place.
Okay.
So maybe, I guess.
Oh, Falleen. It's probably Falleen. Oh wait, no, that's Black Sun. That's Black Sun.
No, yeah, the Falleen. That's not.
No, I think it's a little closer to
no,
Falleen.
No. It's Ryloth. It's Ryloth.
Ryloth.
Yep, that's where
Is
they
it?
get all their slaves and stuff from.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's right
Would
here.
likely
Yeah.
be a place.
That sounds very sensible. So yeah.
It's at the very end of the hyper lane too.
So this is a
That's just after, but
yeah. I think it was Slack who in our last session found out some stuff about Smuggler's Run. Yeah. So we've got a small like station orbiting Ryloth that is like the collections office for this bounty.
yeah.
And you still got me on the phone. Alright, honey, so you said you want us to come to you?
We are currently not capable of getting off-world.
Alright, well, that's gonna dip into some of your payment, if that's fine with you. I mean, we gotta pay for our fuel somehow. GM, you're cool with the guys coming to them, right?
Oh yeah. They
they
can
come-
absolutely
okay.
come out, but
I'm
it's going to
just
have a
making sure.
cost. Yeah, you're
Okay.
welcome to. You've got some
Improv.
yeah.
A little. Do it within reason. Alright. Alright.
You're cutting out again.
Completely
You
cut
got
out there.
God damn it.
All right, you might have to refresh your thing.
This
Yeah.
one. No. Ping was spiking there. Am I good now?
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you. Alright, remind me who you got in your cage again?
Trex the Slaver.
Trax the Slaver. Oh, yep, 15k credit bounty. Wanted for, illegally poaching a Hut's pet. Jeez, this guy's an idiot. Alright, we can send a couple guys out to you. They should arrive within, give them 24 hours or so.
All right, should I ask about the hyperdrive?
Yeah, I doubt this
Absolutely.
office lady knows much about that. Because I don't either.
So I think the office lady will tell you she's going to have to transfer you to the payments side of stuff. She's just the dispatcher. So
Oh, you want? Well, to discuss that, I'll transfer you to rewards, the rewards department. One moment, please. And she puts you on hold.
Oh no, it's like no. I'd say it's like soft jizz playing like. And
And it's like really staticky too. Like it's
brilliant.
Office of Rewards Department. This is Heather speaking.
Yes. This is Thras, your new boss, calling about Trex the Slaver and his bounty. I
Now,
am
one-
currently not able to get off world, but I have information. I have been informed that Trex was looking into hyperdrive.
I think you'll have to, like, we won't go through it here, but you're going to have to recall the entire conversation and go over everything, because the first lady you spoke to did not brief the second lady in the slightest.
Well, I mean, they were on hold for a few minutes, so I mean, well,
I think they just had a chat.
yeah, you know, they probably like, so they got this guy, he's worth X amount, and
Yeah.
they want something else. That's
Mhm.
about probably what they said.
So
Alright,
you,
so you wanted a hyper matter something or another?
hypermatter reactor igniter coil.
Alright, and what's that thing do? Because I'm not familiar with
Well,
that.
it ignites hypermatter, which kicks the hyperdrive off and makes.
Oh,
it,
you guys don't have a hyperdrive.
They've got a
Essentially,
broken
we need a
hyperdrive, yeah.
We need a piece to fix the hyperdrive.
Okay, and how much are those technically worth? I don't know.
So it's just it's essentially a oh man, my brain is blank today. What's like the plot item? There's like a word for that, but I can't think of it. But I think
Item?
yeah, a MacGuffin. It's a MacGuffin that these guys were looking for to get off world. And it there was a junk shop in Mosh Shutter that was willing to part with one for about 600 credits. I think you got them down to, but
But we can't
it's
go
usually
back to
about
those.
750.
Oh, but you screwed that up.
Yeah.
So they can't get off world now.
Mhm.
Okay, I can play this off really well. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Alright, well, with a reduction in cost because of us coming to you, as well as us looking for the item you're looking for, you're looking at the hyperdrive and probably around 5,000 credits at the most.
Perfect.
Fine.
Alright, honey, I'll have the Goonies out in a minute.
You're welcome to try and negotiate that a bit if you want, Otto.
Let me look at my negotiation stat.
Are you all? Are you around? Because I thought he was doing this alone.
No, I've got 2 green in my negotiation.
Oh, lovely.
It's no, I'm not even going to try.
Okay.
To negotiate.
There's no reason to not. I mean, well,
Like,
then again,
don't-
you are
and
negotiating
plus-
with the cartel.
Yeah.
And plus,
Yeah,
do
how
not
did that go?
negotiate with the hut.
How
As a
did
Well,
that
this
go?
isn't a hut. This is just a
Okay.
random office lady.
No, but she works for the hut.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
as a
that's
general
also
rule,
the problem.
do not negotiate with the huts in any capacity. Learn that early on, and you will live a long, happy life.
Yeah, Jonas, I learned that lesson early on. Remember that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so you wrap up your conversation with the dispatcher's office. You've got a rendezvous
Alright,
set.
honey. They'll be there in about 24 hours. Just wait for them. Bye.
Alright, so I guess with that, Thrar is going to contact Nori and
Yeah.
let
So-
him know the situation.
Once that lady hangs up, she connects you back to the first lady, who's very confused as to why you've been connected again, and you go through a little back and forth there before ending the conversation.
Okay, I don't know why she transferred you back to me, but hi again.
We do not need to play out this whole conversation.
Is there anything else you need, sweetie? Alright, have a great day, and remember, it's Hut's way or no way at all. Bye. And she hangs up.
Oh dear.
Oh, wow.
Okay, what are you doing, Otto?
Basically, I am, in as few words as possible, telling Nori that they're gonna be here soon with the part we need to fix the hyperdrive to get
Mhm.
off this dust ball,
Yeah.
and the credit price had to be reduced quite a bit in order to account for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine as long as we can get off world. Don't this junk pile. Yeah.
And
We
I'm
should
pretty
be good.
sure that Thrar is going to split the bounty credits with them because they did help him capture Track.
Cool. So, if you've got nothing else planned here, then we can skip forward in time.
Take a long rest.
Yeah, take a long rest. sort yourselves out, and we'll skip forward to the handoff.
Okay.
And that taking a long rest includes like clearing us of wounds and strain, right?
How does it work?
Have
we
I woken up
recover-
from with my symbiote yet?
We'll get through this, and then we'll wake up.
We recover strain, and I believe we recover 1 wound for every.
Well, it's you roll your is it discipline or resilience, and based on your success, you get stuff.
All right. Because like I'm at 5 wound and 4 strain, so
Jesus, you're not the one who got eaten by a symbiote.
no, that's from the last time.
Oh, wonderful.
So I'm just wondering how does that work? I haven't had to encounter this.
Check, hold on.
Let me see if I can get a sneak at the GM's cheat sheets here. See if that has.
I don't
any-
believe it's on there.
Let's see symbols this.
So
I'm
I
auto cheating.
Let's see.
I think while you guys are resting up and stuff,
No.
given Vex's character, he's absolutely going to have dragged this back half of the swoop bike into the ship, and
Yes. Swoop bike.
and so that's
Gee.
Okay.
the front half doesn't exist of this model. It's like from mid-seat
Ah.
backwards.
I found it. Okay, so
I don't even know why Nostrum has been fixated on this thing, even though he should know.
Swoop bike.
He should know
Okay,
that
so-
it's like cut in half.
for-
Yeah, well, he doesn't because he's stupid. He goes and pokes a random thing that was eating someone else with a blunt end of an axe. You think he knows about mechanics?
for each night's rest, for a full night's rest, the character recovers 1 wound, regardless of the current state of health. I believe you recover all your strain.
Okay. So
You
that
don't
would
need
put
to
me
roll
at-
anything.
Okay.
Just as an aside here, Launch, you'd know that back with the Flare Star, Nostrum has a 48 roller wheel bike.
Oh, what?
It's a pretty cool bit of kit.
That's the
Wait, in the Flare Star, he has a 48 some roller wheel.
Yeah, this thing in
Wait,
like
is that the thing that Grievous used in Revenge of this?
Yeah, it's-
Revenge of this.
it's a like
cool.
civilian model of that, and it sits
Oh,
like
that's
in the
awesome.
bottom part of the like there's a little custom slot for it in the bottom part of the
Swoop. Swoop.
Oh, oh no! Screw swoop bikes. I want that thing. That looks cool.
So have I woken up by this point?
Yeah.
Is everyone's getting everything pulled together?
So you are woozy as anything, but you have woken up. You're still in quarantine, and you're going to have to convince Vex to let you out if you want to go anywhere.
And you're not going to be able to pull that off.
As I'm looking around the room, I'm looking up towards the droid. Am I familiar with this droid? I don't know how long these guys have known each other.
Not really. Like you've been on the ship
You've had a
together
few
for about a
hours.
day now.
Oh, okay. So we're not on like we're hardly on first name basis yet.
No, like this is probably like your second or third conversation with him, kind of thing.
Oh, lovely. Oh, thanks for patching me up. Oh man, that was something. Holy crap. Oh, and I look down and I see it. Oh, hey, little guy. Oh, you're quite a frisky one, aren't you? Oh man, I feel like I got hit by a bus. Whatever a bus is.
Uh,
Feel
I
like
vote on keeping him in quarantine forever.
Is this little guy alive? And I gingerly, very lightly with like my left hand, my non-dominant hand, poke it with just slightly with my finger.
you get a bit of a hit of neurotoxin and feel your legs starting to go.
Oh, he likes me.
Oh wow!
I think I'll name you Rhodesdale.
What? Have
Do
I
you like
gotten-
the name Rhodesdale, little buddy?
What have I gotten myself into?
Does it like the name Rhodesdale?
You are you don't seem to get a reaction about the name
Your mic
Rhodesdale.
cut. Your mic cut.
You don't seem to get a reaction about Rhodesdale.
Oh, I think he likes it. He's not killing me yet.
Oh man.
Then again, I don't know if this thing can have a good reaction to anything, so...
I'm sure that if Thrar was there, he'd just suggest killing him off now so he doesn't become a liability later.
Alright, well, thanks for patching me up, Doc. I'm gonna go sharpen the axe. Literally. I'm gonna go sharpen this axe.
Cool. So one of you guys can step in and play Vex for the moment if you want, because there's definitely a conversation that's going to happen here.
I'll do it. It is unwise for you to move right now, Organic.
I'm fine. I need to stretch my legs.
No.
Keep moving. Never gotta sit down. That's what Grammy always...
You should stay still.
Hey, body in motion stays in motion. A body stays at rest. I gotta get moving. And I'm gonna head for the door.
And Vex is just gonna grab him. Plus, with droid strength, this guy is not.
What's your brawn?
Well,
What's Vex's brawn?
this isn't going to really be a case for Brawn, because Vex has a medical arm that is full of sedative and other stuff. So if you get too close to him, you're getting jabbed.
So I could really just jab him with this.
Yeah, you can knock him out at will, essentially.
I'll just flash the sedative and be like, I would recommend following my instructions, or I will force you to.
I want to roll a coercion check. I'm going to get a little closer with the symbiote, kind of like pelvic thrust a little bit to get it even closer to the droid. Oh, you want to pet him too? Oh, I'm sure you love him.
It will
Can I
not
roll a
affect me.
coercion check?
That will not
Or is he
affect
not
me. I am
intimate?
mechanical.
Oh, I'm sure you'll find a way. Oh, little Rhodesdale.
What generally opposes a coercion? Vigilance, discipline,
I believe.
discipline. Okay. You're gonna have significant setbacks here because
Disadvantage.
yeah.
I will try regardless.
Okay.
Because I don't have negotiation or charm rank. Because I suck at those. So, come on, baby.
Okay. So auto.
One advantage.
I
You-
guess one difficulty.
One difficulty, two setbacks, one because he's patient and one because he's full of neurotoxin. And I'm also gonna flip a destiny point here to upgrade it to a red.
All right, so one.
You
One
just
red,
have to
two
be
black.
one advantage.
Well, I mean, you failed regardless.
Right.
2 failure, 2 disadvantage.
Yay.
You have been stabbed with sedative, and Vex is currently moving your body and
Oh
contemplating
yay,
tying
more
you up.
drugs, and here we go. It's the floor.
And he's currently contemplating tying you down somehow.
Brilliant.
Am I unconscious again?
Yes.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
For the moment. It's
However
not going to be
long
a long
sedative
unconscious. Yeah, it's going to be a short thing.
Wait. I want resilience against these drugs. Because it's something I can do. Because I'm decent at.
Say again? Yeah, wait until your ping
He
goes
wants to
down
do
and then...
resilience. He wants to do resilience against the sedative.
Okay, I'll let you do that.
Thank you, because that's something that my character is actually halfway decent at.
Cool.
Just gotta get over there. Alright.
Crawl,
Right.
disembodied head in hand.
Alright. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Wow, that is 5 advantage. Thanks, dice. Just
Man, what would,
don't even bother. I'll
Yeah.
just collapse on the ground.
Okay.
Yep, more happy fun times
hmm
as I go unconscious again
like
with
drugs
road
may be your
sales still
thing.
attached.
Drugs
Drugs
may
are
be
my
your
thing.
thing,
I have
but
the
are-
addiction obligation, so
But
I love
you
drugs.
are not at all resilient against them.
I resisted the deoxys gas.
That's
yeah,
true.
but that was probably just pure luck, if anything.
If we're green, you can pull off some stuff.
Okay.
Alright.
Going to have
So-
Nori come to Vex and ask if he can be tended to.
If Nori can. Absolutely. Vex will go around and heal you guys up, so feel free to use his stats to give yourselves some healing.
Alright, what does Vex have on him?
2
Like,
yellows
in
and 2
terms of-
greens.
In terms of stim packs or anything.
I forget how this medical check stuff works.
Okay, so he has
He has 3 yellow, 1 green in terms of his medicine stat, if that helps.
yeah. Given that this was a character made for the beginner game, it isn't complete,
Yeah.
and I'm fairly sure that Vex would have stuff like back to special and stim packs.
Okay.
I don't know if JD has altered him in any way.
There's a Discord characters Vex episode 4. There we go. So we've got no critical.
Alright. So just let me know what I need to roll against.
You need to roll. Okay, so what is
He's
your wound
got
threshold?
the surgeon talent.
Okay.
So
what
my wound threshold is 15 and my current is 5.
So because it is below half, the difficulty will be 2 purples.
Okay. And I would have had I would have erased all my strain in 1 wound, but you sounded very unsure about that in terms of the day-long resting stuff.
You would have
so-
recovered all of your strain overnight,
Okay.
and just
Mhm.
1 wound threshold overnight.
Cool.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm currently at 4 wound and 0 strain.
Yeah.
So taking these dice
2
here,
yellows and 2 greens.
2
You
yellows
guys
and
have
2
any
greens.
stim packs?
I thought it was 3 yellows and 1 green because on over
That's what you said his medicine
Oh.
was.
this.
Okay, am I then?
Yeah.
So he's got surgeon, which means character heals 1 extra wound whenever he heals. He's got a bioscan medical, which removes up to 2 setbacks from medicine checks.
This guy's just a straight up doctor, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a few doctor things.
Is he the colonist doctor or the surgeon, or is he the
He's
medic,
into
like
the
the soldier
Viking
medic?
thing, so he's a colonist doctor.
All right.
All right. So am I clear to roll?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Quit getting stuck.
Yeah, he's colonist doctor.
All right, that's well. That's
Wow,
a triumph.
In terms of triumphs, if you've got a crit, you haven't.
Let's see. So that's 2 success, 1 advantage, a triumph against 3 disadvantage.
Yeah, so all of your wounds will have gotten
So
healed.
3 success, a triumph,
And 2 disadvantage.
and 2 disadvantage. Yeah.
So all of your wounds get. He healed all of ours except for Toby.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and oh, did he do that check for you too?
Yeah, I rolled it in his dice tray.
Okay. All right, what are we going to be doing now?
So I think now, given it's about 20 minutes off standard end of session, and the handoff.
Save it for next time.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. No, I think we'll do it now because I think this is going to be a fairly smooth handoff. I don't think there are going to be many complications.
Yeah, like Thrar obviously just being cautious is going to have at least his slug thrower just ready to go in the event that he needs to use a weapon right away. Which, any good bounty hunter would have that precaution anyway.
Yeah.
So
in fact, what I'll have happen here is let's roll a I kind of want some way to determine what generally goes down over the course of this thing. I think the hut representatives are coming and they're not intending to screw you guys over. So they're coming intending a smooth, clean handoff. But there are some potential complications that could happen. So
like suddenly a parasite-ridden, drugged up prisoner pirate break free.
something like that, or if there were anything environmental around, that kind of thing. So would that be a chance cube or a force die?
Vex said he wanted to tie me down.
Well, it could be a chance cube. Though
Yeah.
it seems like a sort of thing that would more likely lend itself to a percentile dice.
Yeah, I think a percentile dice. That seems to work quite well.
Alright.
This chance cube it's basically a 50-50 chance of.
Yeah, let's
getting
bring
something
these
right.
out.
Then just think of a random number that would demonstrate the chance of something going horribly wrong.
Yeah, I think we are looking at about a... Let's give
Maybe
it...
you could use our obligation threshold.
Yeah, I like that. Because Thrar's obligation is probably going to feed into this somehow.
Let me pull up Thrar's let me pull up Thrar's sheet here to
Sheet.
see what his obligation is.
Yeah.
Duty bound, oath, and responsibility. Those are the ones that I had selected as potential obligations, and I didn't know at all how this works at the time. I still have relatively no idea how this works.
Okay, so to quickly explain it, at the start of the game, you're assigned an obligation with a value size equal to the rest of the party. I assumed it was 5, because that's usually the recommended number for a party of 4, which is what we were back then. And then if you're gonna take extra stuff, so if you've got like an extra 2,500 credits worth of gear, you add a plus 10 to that obligation threshold. So in the case of Nori, that's what I did, and I have an obligation value of 50.
All right, so what would I? So okay, so here on the Og Dudes thing, it says, for obligation, it says type and size. So all of them are set at 5, and I didn't mess with that because I don't even know what the heck this thing is.
Yeah.
Like you explained it, and it just went in one ear out the other. I have no clue what this is.
It's quite confusing. I had to spend a little while reading through it today, learning about it.
And it says, like, depending, in order to enable options, you must purchase at least 10 total obligation. It's like, okay, how, what, huh?
Yeah.
So I can give you like a brief explanation after the session if you want.
Yeah, if you could just give me a too long didn't read version of
Yeah, I'll give you like a
is.
2-sentence version of what it is.
Like,
So-
just as bare bones basic as you can, because that's the only way
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
be
the
able
way
to
I
understand.
learned it. Yeah.
So, my understanding of it is, in the Edge of the Empire core rule book, it says number of PCs in the party, 4 or 5. Recommended default starting obligation per player is 10.
So, Otto, do you know what obligation is to start?
Okay, so
That's probably a good place.
I know that it has something to do with your character's backstory, and that due to what obligations or duties that you grab, you're going to, it will affect the game in certain ways at certain key points.
It's kind of like a negative/positive motivation, but it's something that your character has to do or something that defines your character. So like my character, his obligation is addiction. So he because he took the extra obligation to get more stuff credit wise, he is severely addicted to death sticks.
Okay.
So for other obligations, what was Thor's like duty bound?
I have 3: duty bound, oath, and responsibility. Just based
Yeah.
off of
So
text.
responsibility, your character feels responsible for something, and he feels like he's required to go and do something about it.
Okay.
So the lower it is, the less your character feels, obligated to pursue that quote-unquote motivation. The higher it is, the more they need to. So my character, for instance, is more likely to need to go back to death sticks on a daily basis.
Oh, okay.
So it's more of a long-term deficit for short-term benefit.
Okay. I think I have that now. I will get that sorted out after the game.
Yeah.
After the session.
Okay. So, what is the value of your obligation launch codes?
For me, do you want it because I was technically an NPC for the most time? I'm asking the GM that.
This.
It'll be 15 then.
Yeah.
Because he took the extra.
I think you are kind of a little bit NPC, but you're essentially a PC.
Yay.
So 45 is the number to beat.
Cool. And so I'm guessing we're just ignoring Vex and Slack for now,
Yeah.
because they're not here.
I'd say that
Was that a 73?
I didn't see the dice roll. I saw them move
No.
and rotate.
I was just shaking them up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just shaking them for the heck of it.
All right.
So I'll
I'm
make
just
this
waiting
roll.
for y'all.
So essentially, whoever's obligation it falls onto, that triggers and that affects the outcome of this scenario, I'm guessing. So,
Okay.
given that Nostrums probably won't really affect this scenario if it comes up, Nori, what's your obligation again?
Frontier justice.
And what description does that come with?
Essentially, the way that it works for Nori is that he doesn't abide seeing injustices
Mm-hmm.
in the frontier. So basically, if he sees a random civilian getting beaten up by gangsters, he is kind of obligated to go and fix it. And the way he
Okay.
fixes it is by shooting the guy in the...
Yeah. So the way that might play into this situation, for instance,
Is if you were to see some kind of injustice was underfoot at the same time by these people. Say you saw another prisoner on their shuttle or something, that kind
or
of
the
thing.
Hut was using slaves.
Yeah.
so that could play into it. Nostrum addiction's probably not going to play into this scene. So I
I
think
could be super high and say something super stupid.
it's true, but you are confined. So I think we're going to go with
And
a
I do have-
30% chance here,
All right.
and 15 or less. We're going to activate Nori's obligation. 30 or less, higher than 15. We're going to activate Thrall's.
All right.
Roll it.
All right. You ready? Oh, you bastard.
So here's 1.
Oh boy.
Here's 2.
Oh, that's a 0.
Oh, this is it. Oh no,
Oh,
One.
Okay.
that's a 100.
That's a
That's a
crit.
100, isn't it?
That's a crap. No,
That's a 1, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh
so
no, it is a 1. Yeah.
technically a
Oh.
crap.
Okay.
There's
So, yeah.
one
Yeah,
on
that's
22, 33.
Sorry, explain that.
Okay, so on obligation rules,
Mhm.
usually, this is like a special case, so it might not even up. The effects on crits, so double figures, and you can't have double single digits, so it would be a 1.
Yeah.
You basically have the obligations effects doubled.
Okay.
So, like, usually your strain threshold would go down by 2 for the person whose obligation, but in this case, it would go down by 4,
Yeah.
and then it would go down for 2 for everybody else.
Okay. And then, so that's the mechanical effect of it, and then story-wise, there's going to be some kind of important story beat that happens as a result of this obligation triggering.
Yeah, it doesn't have to,
Mm.
but it can.
Yeah. Okay.
So, what you're saying, so just to make sure I'm understanding it correctly, what you're saying is once these dudes land, Nori could potentially go trigger happy.
essentially.
Yeah, that kind of a thing.
Crazy.
Nori's probably going to see
Right.
some kind of injustice happening.
So unless Thrar can successfully hold him back, I guess.
Like
things
these.
are gonna hit the fan.
Oh, hey, Rich, I have an idea for you for this. I'll tell you when it's over,
Okay.
because I think you're gonna like it.
Sure.
Nori could keep his cool. I would have to roll for it, but
Yeah.
you know,
Maybe with boosts or something just for Thrar kind of holding him back.
Actually, Rich, do you want to take me down into a chat real quick, and I can
Okay.
tell you?
Sure.
I really think you're gonna like it.
Okay. We'll be back in just a sec.
okay.
All right.
And oh, never mind.
We're back. Okay. So obligation's going to definitely trigger, and it's going to be interesting.
All right. I better go get a refill for this. I'm gonna need it.
I think what we'll do is call the session here and pick up next week.
Ah, okay.
Well, not next week, but next session. I'm away
We're
next week.
calling
So.
it here for today.
I think so. Yeah, I think this
4 hours.
next thing is gonna take a bit longer to resolve than just a simple handoff, and
Oh no. So
it'd be good
I
to
guess
have the other
are we-
characters back.
I guess in that event, are we not going to be awarded any experience?
Oh, I think what have we achieved this session? We've successfully escaped detection and stuff. We've encountered a new organism. I think there's definitely some perks
You've
for Nori
started-
for
Started the trade-off.
yeah, we started the trade-off. I think there's definitely some perks to be had here for Nori regarding burying and putting to rest the alien and Pelt, because I think that... Does that kind of thing play into your obligation as well, John?
Frontier
Given my
Justice.
background. Well, yeah, Frontier Justice, but also Nori's background.
Yeah.
Particularly I won't mention it here because his
Yeah.
identity is kind of a secret.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I would say with his background, he would definitely go and do that sort of stuff quite regularly.
Yeah. And so is that handled by... Is rewarding that kind of thing handled by the obligation system?
It's considered playing to a motivation, and that does reward, I think, 5 XP?
Okay.
I mean, okay, I don't usually focus on that. I do that by ear. So
Yeah.
It's entirely up to you, however you want to do that system.
Okay, so from what I understand, generally a session has a base reward of around 10 XP, and then like if you achieve something particularly important, then you get 15 XP per character and that kind of stuff, and then individual XP bumps if there's something significant. So I'd say this is probably going to be a 10 XP session for everyone and 12 for Nori.
Alright, I can do that. So just 10.
Cool.
What is it with some of you GMs and rewarding odd number XPs? It's a 5 XP based system. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, but at the same time, like giving a character 1.5 times the reward just for something that was significant for them, but not.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just venting my frustration.
I understand it, but yeah, to give Nori 15, I think would have been a bit much.
Yeah.
Not to mention it kind of adds up over time, so I could potentially
Yeah. The idea is that
rewards down the line.
Yeah, the idea is that different characters will be doing stuff to play to their strengths, and it will slowly build up over the time and balance out, is my understanding at least. Cool, so I guess this will be in the character thing.
Oh, if you wouldn't mind linking the YouTube video in the after game, Rich,
Sure.
Have your channel.
No problem. Slack and
Make sure you add on guest starring Launch Codes.
Brilliant. Right, I'm gonna
I
shut the
better
stream down.
better be in the description.